6, 7.
All right, hold your horses. If it isn't the phone ringing, it's the door. If it's the door, it's something else. Well, what do you want?
10, 11.
Special delivery letter for Mr. Morlock.
Phone, Mildred.
Hello, Morlock residence. Mildred speaking. How do I know what he's doing? All I do is work here. All right, I'll call him. Mr. Morlock! He ain't here.
Phone, Mildred.
What do you mean I didn't give him enough time? Mr. Morlock! Mr. Morlock!
Doorbell, Mildred.
We've been robbed, swindled. There hasn't been such a swindle since they bought Manhattan Island for $24.
Mr. Morlock, special delivery letter for you, and you're wanted on the phone.
$51,000.
$52,845. Oh, and 50 cents. Well, I was only being exact, Mr. Morlock.
If you can't be exact without making matters worse, don't be exact.
But that's what it says in the books.
I don't care if it says it in neon lights atop the Empire State Building. It's $51,000. Hello? Hello, Mr. Brubaker. Yes, Mr. Brubaker. We had a little misfortune, yes. We went just a little too heavy on those stocks, Mr. Brubaker. We'll be back by the end of the week. Ha! You're fired. No, Mr. Brubaker, I wasn't talking to you. I know I can't fire you. I wouldn't if I could, Mr. Brubaker. I was talking to my secretary, whom I'm quite certain is not only a sane, but the poorest excuse for secretary I have ever seen. Yes, Mr. Brubaker. We'll see you at the office in the morning. Yes, Mr. Brubaker. Mr. Brubaker's a little upset.
But we couldn't help him, Mr. Morlock.
Sure, Georgia, we'll make it back. We'll make back every penny and thousands more. I'm not trusting her for nothing.
I'll say not. Not unless you call $175,000 a year nothing.
$75,000 a year. That's on the books.
That's $100,000. That's not on the books.
Take a letter, Miss Akers.
Thought you said it was fired.
I said take a letter.
Yes, Mr. Morlock.
Hello, Dad.
Good evening, Jessica.
Do you know what I'm doing, Dad? I'm training for gym.
For who?
It isn't a who, it's a what. Do you know what I'm gonna be, Dad? I'm gonna be a female wrestler.
Get the letter's quotations, Georgia. And take a letter, Miss Akers, to Huff and Huff at Barnes Building, New York.
Aren't you interested in my ambitions, Dad?
Dear Mr. Huff.
I might call myself Jumpin' Jessica. That's because I can really jump.
Jessica. Maybe we should move back into the study, Miss Akers.
Yes, Mr. Morlock. Here's your closing quotations, Mr. Morlock.
Oh, gas and a fraction? Better profit company got an 8? 26 steel on a 4. Holy smokes, we're ruined! Ruined!
That's why a kid like me should be pitied. If I saw myself in a movie, I'd bawl my eyes out. Friendless, hungry for love, facing a cold, cruel world with nothing but money. It's rough. Phone, Mildred! I'm a kid just starved for love, attention. The story of Jessica Morlock. She was a good kid, Jessica, but she was hungry her entire droll, uneventful life. Hungry for attention. Her father was vice president of Brubaker and Brubaker, concerned only with making money. And her poor mother was lonely, heartbroken, she too craving the love of money-mad Morlock, who was once a dear husband and father and companion. Jessica, poor kid, lived a drab existence, trotting from her mansion in the country to her mansion in the city, all the time wishing for youthful companionship, especially with boys.
Is that the doorbell or the phone? 24 hours a day, those things ring. If I ever have a house of my own, I gotta have bells of no kind. There's the doorbell now. Come to think of it, don't even have a door. Tired of opening and closing it, opening and closing it.
If someone wants me, which They never do. I'll be upstairs drinking rat poison.
What do you want?
Can I come to Dr. Fajora?
You can't come in. Mr. Morlock does not allow bums in the house.
But I'm not bum. I'm a Norwegian calling, and I'm coming to Dr. Fajora. Could I please, maybe speak to Mr. Morlock?
Mr. Morlock's busy. Mr. Morlock's always busy. Days had 30 hours, he'd still be busy. What do you got on your mind?
Well, I'm gonna come to talk for Joe. I'm gonna come here to talk for him. Because, well, I'm gonna ask him, I'm gonna tell him that my Joe's in love with his daughter Mary. And his daughter Mary is in love with my Joe.
So you're Joe's father?
Yes, I'm little Joe's papa. Only he's not so little no more. He's a grown man, a fine fellow. And I'm gonna come here to talk for him.
Well, like I said, he's busy.
Oh, whatever. I'll just wait. So I can have a nice, long talk.
Suit yourself. He's in there with his lawyer and his secretary. And when that bunch get together, they don't take time off for nobody.
Oh, just to tell him I'm here. Mr. Morlock, sir, I'm Luigi Lanconi, and I'm come to talk for Joe. I'm come here to talk for him, because he'll make you a proud son-in-law. My Joe, he's gonna make something someday. Maybe a president. All the country will look at my Joe, and it says, there goes Joe Lanconi, and he's a wife of Mary. Oh, they'll make the finest couple in America. My Joe and your Mary.
Hi.
Excuse me. I thought I was just talking to myself.
That's all right. Don't worry about me. Go right on.
All right. I'm just going to rehearse my speech. Don't give it to Mr. Morlock. I'm going to say that my Joe would like to marry his Mary.
Oh, so you're Joe's papa? I'm Jessica Morlock, Mary's sister.
Nice. I'm glad to know you.
Just anything you want to know about Mary, ask me. We've been sisters ever since I was born. And you know how sisters are.
I'm come to speak to your papa.
Joe's a swell guy. But Dad doesn't like him, and that's all there is to it. He doesn't like him because he isn't rich. He won't let her marry anyone who isn't loaded with money.
Well, that's a bad. And he won't give his permission for the wedding? It's terrible. My Joe, she'll be disappointed.
Mary, too. But if Mary doesn't get him, that'll still give me a chance.
My Joe, she's a sensible young fellow.
Yeah, and he's good looking, too. But Dad won't say yes. I'll tell you that right now. He never agrees with the rest of us. In fact, he never pays us any attention. All he thinks about is money. You ever know anyone like that? The foundation of Dad's world is long and green. Listen, he hardly knows I exist. He doesn't even know what grade I'm in.
I know what grade I'm in.
Come to think of it, I don't know either. But I don't worry about school. I'll probably have a complete mental collapse in a year or two anyway. So, what's the difference? Looky there, would ya?
What at?
At my muscle. See it? I've been developing that for weeks. I've done everything but feed it milk. I'm gonna be a wrestler. Dad's gonna drop dead when it finally dawns on him.
Then, maybe he'll give his permission, huh?
I doubt it. Dad could drop dead twice and still not let us marry anything but money. He pets the stuff and fondles it like a cat.
That's bad.
Did you ever have a husband that didn't know you existed? No, I guess not. Anyways, that's what Mom has. Dad doesn't pay any attention to her or the rest of us. We're just pieces of furniture as far as he's concerned.
That's terrible.
You think so? Oh, he speaks to us now and then. When I had the measles, he came in and asked me how I was feeling. When I fell out of the tree on my head, he looked in the door twice. Or was it once? I distinctly saw him twice, but if I remember right, it was both at the same time. I hadn't recovered fully from the fall on my head.
saw him.
Oh, then please, maybe can I see him?
He ain't seeing nobody.
When will Mom be home, Mildred?
I don't know. Don't have any idea. All I do is work here.
When can I see him?
Didn't she hear me say all I do is work here? I don't go around asking questions. Told him you were here? He grunted.
That's a bad.
No, that's good. Most people he doesn't even grunt for.
Tell me, Mildred, what do you think about two people getting married?
Oh no, I've seen guys like you. I answer one of them leading questions, then you start trying to hold my hand. Oh no, all I do
It's
is
a
work.
mistake, guys. Just
Even South Dakota Central is down a point. So's Consolidated Canada Zinc. So's Midwest Forge. We'll probably lose even more than $51,000. We'll probably lose our shirts.
Well, then you're in the wrong business, Mr. Morlock.
I'm what?
What I mean is, if you lose your shirt, then you should be in retail clothing.
That isn't funny, Georgia. We've reached a crisis. The future of Brubaker and Brubaker hinges on our next move. Whether we go up or down depends on us. We are abreast of the pendulum, Georgia, and you stand around making jokes. Jokes!
Don't lose your temper too, Mr. Morlock. It's enough you've lost $52,845.50 in one day.
51,000. And don't argue.
On paper, $52,845
You're fired. Out the door.
and 50 cents.
excuse me. I'm Luigi Lanconi, and I'm a coming doctor for Joe.
Don't get upset, Mr. Morlock. Or start having those pains again.
Heaven forbid. Not those pains. Not those horrible, excruciating pains.
You must relax. Take things easy.
You're right, Miss Vickers. Thank you. I will. Now, where were we?
You just lost $52,849 in one day.
Georgia.
Yes, sir.
Georgia, the stocks and juices of tomorrow must win. They must pay off. We're in that business. Now, what looks the best to you?
I'd say he looks the best to me.
I mean, stocks.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I guess I was thinking about something else.
You want to think about this? You'll be thinking about a new job. One or the other. You're my advisor, my assistant, my attorney. You take charge of all legal matters, and what have you ever done? Nothing.
That's because you haven't been caught yet, Mr. Morlock.
You're fired. You're both fired. Out the door. I've hired a couple of comedians. I do better by myself. I'm having pains.
Don't shout,
Pains.
Mr. Morlock. Well, I'll give you a chair. Just relax, Mr. Morlock. Take things easy.
Excuse me. I'm a coming doctor for Joe.
We'll look over Jones and Company, and maybe Smith and Smith.
They should be sure things to you. I mean, Philip Ulysses. I mean, Mr. Morlock.
Please, can I talk for just a second?
We've got to do better tomorrow, and the next day.
Yes, Mr. Morlock.
We've got to get back to work.
You're right, Mr. Morlock. If you don't take things a little easier, Mr. Morlock, you'll die.
I don't have time to die. I don't have time for such nonsense. I'm a responsible man in a responsible position.
Excuse me. I'm a coming doctor for Joe.
I'm afraid this isn't a very good time to speak to Dad, Mr. Luigi. I think he's sort of upset.
Then maybe I'll just wait till he cools off, huh?
Might be a good idea. You can go out to the garden and wait a while if you want. I'll show you around the place.
It's a good idea. Your father is a very busy man.
You can say that again. And it's like this 8 days a week.
Mildred!
You called me, Mrs. Morlock?
Are the children home? Jessica was here a minute ago. Barry and Joe ain't back yet.
Oh, and don't say ain't, Mildred.
Well, they ain't. And if I said anything else, I'd be telling a lie.
Is Mr. Morlock home?
He's in there with Miss Blue and Miss Akers. They've been ranting and raving for the past hour. As usual.
I've got an idiot for an assistant, an idiot for an advisor, an idiot for an attorney. It's beyond me how one man can have so many idiots.
Hello, Philip.
Good evening, Hazel. She's fumbled again.
Must you work every night, Philip? Can't you put it off till morning?
I'm going to the club in the morning. The only relaxation I get is when I'm playing golf.
I was hoping we could go to the country tomorrow.
But I've already called the club and our tea time is set. We can find someone to drive you to the country.
No, Philip. Forget I even mentioned it. I wish you had a little more time for your family, Philip.
Uh-huh.
We were happy when we had that little house out on the edge of town. You used to have your own little garden, and we measured beans each morning to see how much they grew the night before. We were happy, even though we didn't have enough money to pay our bills. Philip?
Huh?
Do you remember when we were married?
Are we still?
I mean the day.
I remember it very well.
You do?
I certainly do. The best man picked my pocket before I could even get out of the house. There and then I swore I'd never get married again.
Why don't we go on a second honeymoon, Philip?
What in the world for?
For us? For you? For me? Things aren't nearly the same as they used to be. Why don't we go on a trip together?
Well, I guess we could.
Do you really mean it?
Sure, if it suits Georgia, it suits me. But of course, she might not want to go.
Georgia.
But we can't go without Georgia. I want to think of leaving everything in her hands.
But I meant just the two of us.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'm sorry, Philip.
Of course, that doesn't keep you from taking a trip. You can go wherever you want. Bermuda, England, France. Pick Jessica, Mary, even Mildred. I don't care. No? Did you shake your head no? Women, I can't understand them. Midwestern Electric. Closed even. Georgia!
Hello. Oh, hello, Mary. How are you, Joe?
Just fine, Mrs. Morlock.
Have you been crying? Crying? Well, of course not.
No, Mom, you can never fool me and you know it. Now sit here and tell me what happened.
It's nothing, dear. Really.
It's Father, isn't it?
We merely had a discussion, that's all.
It wasn't about me and Joe, was it?
No, dear.
Has he said any more about us getting married?
No, he hasn't. Not since you last talked to him.
Do you think he might change his mind?
I doubt it, Joe. He hasn't changed anything in 10 years. That was when he made his big change. His love went from his family to money, more money. It's been there ever since.
Maybe if I talk to him again, but I've tried everything. I even went to him on bended knee. People would have thought I was proposing to him instead of Mary.
Well, all I've got to say is it's time we had a showdown. There's no use in your father taking such a selfish, ridiculous attitude. Philip!
Do you think I'd better hide?
You stay right where you are.
Yes, ma'am.
Philip! Philip Morlock!
Why? Don't let you out of the house.
Well, what is it? We would like to speak to you for a few minutes if you would be so kind as to call out of your hole.
Can I be of assistance?
No.
Hello, Father.
Hello, Mr. Morlock.
Oh, you too. The answer is still no. Hazel, you're standing in my way. Please stand aside. I have business in there.
You have business out here too. Important business. It concerns two young people who intend on getting married, and it would be much easier for all concerned if you would just give your permission.
I told you how I feel on the matter. I've told everyone in the house how I feel. If a reporter were here, I'd tell him too. This is my house. I am the head of my house. And I will not give my permission for a marriage that has absolutely no foundation or reason for being. So please, stand aside, Hazel, and let me return to my work.
But it does have a reason for being, Dad. A very good reason.
Sir, I love your daughter.
Joe, I love you too.
Young man, you may not be aware of it, but a marriage can be based on only one thing: money.
We were happy for a long time without it, Philip.
Nonsense. We just thought we were happy. We're just a couple of idiotic kids, that's all.
Please, Father.
No, I won't stand for it, Mary. You'll find someone who can support you. You're crazy if you think I'm gonna let you marry a pauper.
Oh, my jaws are not pauper.
Dad!
Tony.
I have been standing here with Jessica, and I have heard what they said.
Oh, so you're Joe's father.
Yes, I'm just Papa, and I hear you don't want Joe to marry your daughter. So I'm come here to talk to Joe.
Please, Dad, this is no concern of yours.
Oh, it's a concern of mine. But before your mama died, she gave a last request. One thing, please. Luigi, she says, Luigi, you take good care of the boys. So, I take good care. I try to raise the boys right. Now, my Joe, he will marry your daughter. So I'm come here to talk for him.
I'll bet you came to talk for him. Wouldn't that just suit you fine? What's your occupation, Mr. Lanconi?
I'm a baker.
A baker? Well, macaroni alla carbonara, ain't that just dandy? I can see it now. Mary Morlock, daughter of Philip Morlock, joined his holy wedlock with Luigi Lanconi, son of Joe Lanconi, son of Luigi Lanconi, a baker. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
It's no laughing matter. It's a serious thing.
From your standpoint it is. From mine it's ridiculous. No, hilarious.
Philip, please!
Then don't feel it please me, Hazel. This is the first good line I've had in years. It's the stupidest thing I ever heard. I'd be the laughing stock of my club, of the whole town.
When I marry Martha...
Please,
I
Dad.
don't just start to please and stuff either. I'm your papa, and I'm come here to talk for you.
But you can't talk without losing your temper.
And what if I do? I'm just knock his block off, that's all. It's nothing else there. As I'm gonna start to say, when I married Martha, we didn't have a thing, not even a job. But we were happy. Then I get a job at the bakery. Then we were really happy. 2 years later, we have a first son. We give him a common American name, Angelo. Next year, we have a little Joe. Now, he's a man, a fine fellow. He no smoke, no casa, no take the drink.
Look, old man, you might just as well give up and go peddle your paper somewhere else.
Oh, I'm an old man, maybe, but I'm not peddle papers. I'm a baker, and if I had my oven, I'd chop your head off and stuff it in a cannoli.
A true Italian.
Dad, you better come along home.
Oh, I'm not go home, I'm gonna lose my temper. If my shirt gets sleeves, I roll up.
And just who do you think you'd fight?
I'd fight you big, small.
Philip, for goodness sakes, the Godfather here started it.
Oh, referee!
I'll knock his block off for John and Mary.
Come on, Dad.
No, just doing my
Good punch, Dad.
Oh, Philip, what you got?
Oh, Dad.
What's wrong? Can't take it? Need some thugs to help you?
I'm all right. It's the chest.
You better go home, Dad. You're too old to be acting like a little kid.
Oh, I'm not so old. I'm not that like a little kid. I'm gonna stay on that block off.
Is that all right?
He will be when he gets home.
I'd be ashamed. I didn't do anything. He started it. If I was getting tougher than that, I wouldn't go around starting fights.
Oh, I can still knock the block off.
Dad! Can you make it home okay, Dad?
I cannot make it home, okay?
I'm going to take you to see the doctor, Dad.
Not gonna see the doc.
Joe, I'm coming with you. You're staying right here, Mary.
Mother, I'm going with Joe. Luigi may need us.
All right, Mary. It's an outrage. That's what it is. An outrage. Hey, get back here. When a daughter won't even mind her own father, it's time to start partaking. And I'll take steps.
You will do nothing of the kind, Philip.
I certainly will. If that girl ever sees that Joe fellow again, he'll be for my dead body.
The little fellow inspired me, he did. Jessica, he said, Jessica, you can't have anything in this world unless you work and strive for it. Well, I'm starting now to work and strive. I'm going to go up to my room and take a wrestling lesson right now. He inspired me.
A lot he knows about having anything in this world. He doesn't have a thing, not one thing. I should have violently kicked him out of the house.
You talked real mean to him and then beat him up.
I did nothing of the kind. He couldn't take it. He knew I packed a mean punch. He's no sicker than I am either. He thought if he dropped in his tracks and say yes, sure, carry away my daughter, help yourself to my possessions. Here's my checkbook. I'm wise to his kind.
Oh, you're wise to the world, aren't you?
The trouble with you, Hazel, is that you take everything too seriously. You should be more like me.
Just what this world needs. Do you have to insult everybody? A lot you care. A lot you care about anything. Poor little old fellow. Didn't you see that pain expression on his face?
He was probably born with it. I see cases like him every day. They come into the office with things from gold mines to inventions, and each one has an axis a little different. But I'm proud to say I'm intelligent enough to separate the wheat from the chaff. And that was the plainest piece of chaff I've ever seen. Pains. I'm getting pains again.
Oh, I'm surprised a superhuman specimen like you would be susceptible to pains.
It's all this excitement. Horrible creatures like that shouldn't be allowed to run loose in the world.
He is a nice little old man.
Nice.
And he has a nice son. Joe will graduate from college with honors this spring.
Well, if he comes around here again, he'll have the honor of being kicked right out of the house, he will.
Please, just try to be a little more sensible and understanding. Used to be so kind-hearted and sweet.
Here we go again. I've given you money, a social position, security, fine friends, everything. That isn't enough. Honestly, I've been quite a success, not only as a man, but as a husband and a father too. Yes, sir.
15 years ago, I might have agreed with you, but no more. You are the most egotistical man I've ever met. And you're heartless, and cool too. I decided to do something tomorrow I should have done long ago. I'm leaving,
Oh, you've decided to take a trip, huh?
and I'm not coming back.
And it's who do you think you're trying to fool?
I'm leaving in the morning, Philip.
And let me remind you that 90% of the women in this country would love to trade places with you right now. They'd like to have a husband like me. Yes, sir. The trouble with me is I'm underappreciated. Me, vice president of Brubaker and Brubaker. And I'm having pains.
Not ready to finish those letters yet, Mr. Morlock?
Just as soon as I finish having pains.
Yes, Mr. Morlock. I'd suggest you lie down, Mr. Morlock.
You are being paid to make suggestions, Miss Akers. Please return to your work.
I am sorry, Mr. Morlock.
Everyone's always making suggestions. They should take more and give less, especially with the vice president around. I'm having pains.
I suggest you get some sleep, Mr. Morlock.
Oh, you would?
Yes, in fact, I would. All you do is work, groan,
Even up into the night. I can't sleep. You know that. I couldn't go to sleep if I had to. I've got insomnia. I try to count sheep. No good. I count horses. Still no good.
Suggest you try counting your money, Mr. Morlock.
I've heard if people count money long enough, they either go to sleep or crazy, provided they don't want to move it.
Mildred, are you editorializing?
No, sir. All I do is work here.
If a person can't sleep, he can't sleep. I've got too much on my mind. Too many worries. Too many pains. Too many people trying to tell me what to do. And a lot of sympathy I get too. No consolation, no kind words from my family. All I get from them is bills and more bills. I've made a success out of myself and of them. But what do I get in return? Nothing. No wonder I can't relax. Can't eat what I want. Can't sleep.
Phone, Mildred! Mr. Morlock, shall I answer the phone?
I do believe he's asleep. I heard about sleeping tablets down him too. By George, this is an oddity!
Hello? Yes, Mary, this is Miss Akers. Your mother isn't down here just now. Shall I call for her? Yes, I'll take a message. Who? Luigi Lanconi? Yes, Mary, I'll tell her.
What is it, Miss Akers?
Someone by the name of Luigi Lanconi. Mary said he crossed the Williams Hospital. I think to get him.
Oh no. A friend of the family? It was Joe's father, Mary's fiance.
He is not Mary's fiance. If he is, it's over my dead body.
How could you, Philip? How could you be so mean?
Can I help it if he had a bad heart? Great John North says I'm no doctor. All I could have given him was an aspirin.
You killed him just the same as if you'd taken a gun and shot him in cold blood.
For crying out loud. I'm getting pains again.
Oh, I'd have pains too if I were you. Miss Akers, Georgia, you may go home.
Says who? We still have work to do. Lots of work.
But you're sleepy, Mr. Morlock.
I'm vice president of Brubaker and Brubaker, and we have work to do. Yes, Mr. Morlock.
Yes, Mr. Morlock.
There's plenty of people like him in the world anyway. If you ask me, he's better off dead. Philip! It's not my fault he died. Holy smokes, what do I even think I am? A man has to hold out for his own rights in this world. If you start anything, keep it up. Don't turn back. Always push forward.
And that's why I'm come back to talk for Joe.
Luigi, this says we're dead.
That's right. I'm as dead as a doornail.
No, can't be.
What? I wake up in a stranger place, and they say, Luigi, you're dead. I'm not dead, I say. Then they show me the report. At a 9:30, Luigi Lanconi. He said, drop a dead. I said, depart from this world. I shall visit my wife, Martha. Then they ask if I have any last request. One thing, I say. Please, Your Majesty, I would like to stay with a certain man until he gives his permission for the wedding.
No, it can't be. Things like this don't happen. Spirits don't really come back from the dead and harm people.
Then comes a special message. Luigi Lanconi. Request granted. Best of luck on your mission. Right? And up here, to tackle for Joe.
No, things like this don't happen.
Anyway, Luigi's not a hunt nobody. Luigi's just gonna stay here until you say, sure, Joe can marry your daughter. And your daughter Mary can marry my Joe.
This is an outrage. Listen, if you think I'm gonna stand around and be haunted by a 2-bit ghost, then you're crazy. Toss in the head. And if you don't leave real quiet and peaceful, then I'm afraid I'm gonna have to throw you out of the house.
Well, I'm afraid, but I'm just gonna stay right here until you give your permission.
I request you to leave. As owner of this house, I demand you remove yourself from these premises. At once! Out the door! Oh, for heaven's sakes. Listen, Luigi, you can't fool me into thinking you're a ghost. You look just as alive as you ever did. And if you don't go, I'll sue. Georgia! Georgia!
Yes, Mr. Morlock?
Georgia, I want to start a lawsuit against this man for $1 million.
What man?
The one sitting right there.
Mr. Morlock, you promised your doctor.
I am merely saying we're going to press charges against this man sitting right here.
That's what we thought you said.
And so like no one's ever been sued before.
Excuse me, Mr. Morlock, where is he sitting?
Right there!
There? Mr. Morlock, no one is sitting there.
You're crazy. You're both crazy. Besides that, you're fired. Completely fired. Out the door. And take him with you. Listen, Luigi, I'm going to give you to the count of 3. And if you aren't out of here by then, I'll sue. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5.
Maybe he can't count. You ghosts can.
This is an outrage. And I'm vice president of Brubaker and Brubaker. Me? Haunted.
Come, Mr. Morlock, I'll bring you to bed.
What's the use? I couldn't sleep. Never sleep again.
Gone. I'll just turn him down here. I'll see you in the morning.
I'll entertain your little ghost friend while you're gone.
Miss Aker, I will not allow my secretary to flirt with strange ghosts.
I'm not your secretary anymore, remember? You fired me.
Well, I just hired you again. And please move. He has a head in your lap.
He does? How sweet.
I warned you, Miss Akers. I'm not responsible for anything that happens.
I'm not worried about a perfectly innocent little ghost.
It's when they're alive that I worry.
Come along, Mr. Morlock.
How dare you, Georgia?
Ah, what a life. I was never like this.
What in the world happened, Hazel? Let's go, Dr. Brown. Imagine he sees things. I figured as much. He's in the study. You're him?
I tell you, it's an outrage. And I'm angry at once. Out of my sight. Ridiculous estimate is preposterous. Stupid. Abominable. Out the door.
For heaven's sakes.
He's been going on like that for 2 hours. We tried to get him to sleep, but it was just no use.
I'm going to stay right here until you give your consent.
It's blackmail, that's what it is.
Evidently, he thinks he's being blackmailed.
Which walls have the little animals been crawling out of, Philip?
I'm not saying little animals, just one big one, and he crawled in that hole in the wall over there with a door on it. And you can't see him, just me. It's one heck of a situation, but that's the way it is.
Let me see your tongue, Philip.
Here we go again. There.
Take off your shirt.
I'm not gonna take off my shirt.
Go ahead and, like you said, take off your shirt.
Who do you think you are ordering me around?
I'm your doctor, Philip.
Go ahead. He's a dog.
Why don't you dock it?
Philip, that is a terrible way to talk to Dr. Brown.
I'm not talking to Dr. Brown. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Listen, Doc, did you ever hear of Luigi Lanconi?
Oh, sure. He was the little fellow they brought down to the hospital tonight.
You're right. For once in your life, you're right. Well, that's him right there. That's who I've been talking to.
People, I better talk to you. Do you see anyone besides us? Anyway, that Luigi fellow is quite evidently brought down to the hospital tonight.
Of course he was dead!
Philip, don't shout.
That's what I've been trying to tell you. And he's still dead. Stone dead. And he's sitting right there. Only you can't see him. Just me and him so mad I could die.
How long has he been this way? For 2 or 3 hours. He just wouldn't sleep. He kept saying this little imaginary ghost kept pulling the covers off of him. Finally, he wanted him in the study. We thought maybe he'd go in there, but he just talked and sat and shouted.
It's bad enough being haunted by a regular ghost, or I have to give him with flowers for brains.
Must be its conscience, Doctor. He and Luigi had sort of a run-in tonight. It was over Mary Jo getting married. Well, they argued and scuffled, and Luigi had a rather bad spell with his heart.
You're more than an idiot. He was dead than alive.
That might be. Something certainly happened somewhere along the line. Is he rational? What's 2 plus 2, Philip?
You think I'm crazy. That's what you think. Well, I'm not crazy. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 times 8 is 64. Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492.
Philip.
A squirrel is about 1.5 pounds. An elephant's hump is about 25 pounds, provided, of course, that he's reached full of an elephanthood and isn't from any of the small elephant strains. And now, fat Philip was first introduced to Italy in the 1st century A.D.
Italy!
Yes, Philip. Topeka is the capital of Kansas. Lincoln is the capital of Nebraska. Little Rock is the capital of... what's Little Rock the capital of?
It's California.
California! I guess that means I'm not crazy.
Yes, Philip. I'll take him to the study and give him an examination.
I'm not going to be examined in front of him.
Oh, I'll hide my eyes.
No more privacy than a goldfish. Look, Doc, I'm perfectly fine. It's just that idiot can't die like a normal person. As soon as he gives up the ghost, everything will be fine.
Yes, Philip.
Is he, Mom?
Dr. Brown is in the study. I've never seen anything so strange. Neither. But poor little old Luigi. Joe's gonna take it mighty hard, Mom. He was a wonderful father.
He inspired me. That's what he did.
Jessica, what in the world are you doing up?
I just couldn't sleep. I'm gonna be the world champion female wrestler, I am. Just for him.
Jessica, for heaven's sakes.
Well, I am. And I've got my book right here. I'm starting on page 1.
But not at 1 o'clock in the morning, dear. Go back to bed.
I might wake Miss Akers. I'd probably give her an airplane spin, or kangaroo kick, or half Nelson right there in bed. Poor girl would never know what hit her.
Miss Akers? She and George are staying the night, just in case we need anything.
Everything okay?
Father's in the study with Dr. Brown. What about Luigi? Apparently he's in there too.
Georgia, do you believe in ghosts?
Of course not. Not up until tonight, anyway. You should try to get some sleep. You've been up all night. I'm fine, dear. However, I think I will go take an aspirin. I'll go with you.
How to knock a man out. This is good stuff to know whether I ever wrestle professionally or not. Step number 1. Always keep a small hammer or mallet hidden. The one spot when wanting to knock a man out is right behind the ear. A blow here, properly placed, is equal to a 50-pound weight dropped on his head. Oh, Georgia!
Huh?
If you could help a girl get a start in life, you would, wouldn't you?
Uh-huh.
Good. Every young person needs someone to give him his first big start. Now, let's see. About an inch to the left. That's it. Hey, that's okay. I'm really strong. Man alive.
Whatever happened to her?
I just lowered the bib on her, Miss Akers. I'm really loaded.
Heaven's sakes!
Georgia,
We'll get a blanket. He's going to spend the night in study.
I'll get one. I got muscles.
What's wrong, Doctor?
I'm loaded.
Can't find
find anything wrong with him but the usual. He's dissipated, worn out, chest pains, high blood pressure, ulcers, dyspepsia, palpation of the heart, arthritis, rheumatism, hardening of the arteries, and yeah. Poor Peter. Poor Philip and Lucy's Maria. If we can just get him to sleep and perhaps tomorrow he'll be his own natural self. Even that's bad enough. Miss Akers, that's no way to talk about Mr. Morlock when he can't defend himself. Ever seen him when he was?
Here's a blanket, Dr. Brown.
Thank you, Jessica.
Any word?
Mr. Morlock will be spending the night in study.
I never brought a blanket.
Nothing but the usual. I've never seen anything like it. I'm sure you have. Yeah, I have words. My Uncle Robbie. He saw all kinds of little creatures. Creatures with tails and pitchforks and horns and horrible little faces and shapes. How ghastly.
Maybe he's been reading the funnies.
Yes, Doctor? I gave him a sedative and he's quiet when he left. Always just in case he goes restless during the night. What do you think, Doctor? Well, it's hard to say. Could it be his mind? We'll know more in the morning. I'll be over first thing. His Uncle Rodney of mine was a bit of a scoundrel. When he saw all kinds of little creatures, he shouted like mad, and wouldn't stop until the next day. Then, all was quiet. Uncle Rodney was dead. You think maybe Philip? Everything is going to be all right. It was just his conscience. Oh, poor little Luigi. He was a wonderful little old fellow. Never harmed a soul in his life. Joe said they'd probably have the funeral day after tomorrow. I think I better go to bed. All right, dear. Well, let us know if tomorrow starts getting rowdy or busting up furniture. Just yell. You coming up? In a minute. We'll keep us stay down here for a while. Jessica, you better go to bed too.
In a minute, Mom. Mom,
What is it, dear?
why did Luigi have to die?
He's just like everybody else, dear.
But he isn't just like everybody else. He was good and kind. Not at all like Dad.
Jessica, that is a terrible thing to say.
Well, I know it is, but it's the truth.
Whether it is or it isn't, you shouldn't say it. Now, why don't you right to bed?
What a phony world. I'm punished if I tell a lie, and I'm punished if I tell the truth?
Get out!
Oh dear. What in the world's the matter now?
He kicked me out of bed.
I'm not kick you out of bed. I'm never kicking nobody out of bed in my whole life.
Philip, go back to bed.
How can I go back to bed with that kangaroo in the house?
Luigi's not a kick nobody.
Who's he talking to, Mother?
He was on my side.
You didn't have a side.
Philip, go to bed.
He pulled the covers off 17 times.
Mom, is Dad crazy?
How'd you face it?
Oh, pound my face of my dead body.
If it's necessary, yes.
Mom, I think Dad's lost his marbles.
We've got to get him to sleep. I'll go get a glass of water and one of those sleeping pills.
Oh, I can put him to sleep, Mom. Dad! Come here. Now, bend over. A little more now. That's it.
Jessica, what in the world are you doing?
I was just putting him to sleep, like you said.
Jessica, go to bed. Fucking idiot.
Yes, Mother.
Now, go and take one of these. What are you doing now?
I'm sitting on the floor. What does it look like?
And what are you doing that for?
Maybe he's looking for his marbles.
Jessica, go to bed.
Yes, Dad. He's definitely lost them.
Jessica!
I'm going.
Now, get up and take some of these.
What are they?
The pills Dr. Brown left. They'll help you sleep.
I'll never get any sleep. Well, this bird right here is putting his best foot forward.
Philip, there is no one down here but us.
Try telling him that. He'll kick your teeth in.
Now, go to bed, Philip.
I'll go in, but I won't sleep. I'll have a monkey face around here.
For heaven's sakes.
that lame brain. Stupid ghosts like him shouldn't be allowed to run loose in this world. And I, of all people, shouldn't have to put up with him.
Mr. Morlock,
Sir? Oh no, not again.
I'm not trying to make you mad. I'm just come to talk for Joe. You're listening, Mr. Morlock?
No, I'm asleep. Father, are you still awake? I didn't expect me to sleep when the Godfather keeps sitting on my covers.
Dad, there's no one on the blanket. Here's your blanket, Father.
Billy Goat.
Now, please go to bed.
I can't sleep. Not with him sleeping. Not with him breathing down my neck.
For heaven's sakes. Here, take one of these. Dr. Brown said for you to take one if you're restless. Now take one. Okay, go in the study, Father. Dr. Brown said those pills would put you right to sleep.
I don't care if old man Carter himself said it. Oh no, not that. Had enough. I'm leaving.
Mr. Mullen, where are you going?
I'm going to a hotel. I can't stand any more of that.
Any more of what?
That horrible story. I take sleeping pills and he sleeps. He's driving me mad.
I don't hear a thing, Mr. Mullen.
You're dead. That was a peanut. Either that or you're going crazy. I hate to say it, Georgia, but I think you flipped your stack.
Yes, Mr. Morlock.
I never heard such noises. Sure, Mr. Morlock.
Take a sleeping pill.
I've never heard anything like that.
Please do try to rest, Mr. Morlock.
I'll sleep in here. I can't sleep in there. I'm blasting for lead.
Go to bed, Mr. Morlock.
I should have lived so long.
Mr. Morlock, what are you doing now?
Georgia, hurry up, get up here or I'll trample you. Hurry, get up here. He's stampeding.
What in the world? What are you two doing? We're playing games. Luigi? What?
I'm not laughing here.
For goodness sake.
Stand right there, please. Don't move.
Luigi's sleepwalking.
Thankfully, someone's getting some sleep around here.
Quick, everyone for shelter. Always open for you before crossing. Look out for Sofa. He's gone. Nothing to be afraid of now. Unless he comes back.
He's getting worse, Georgia.
I know, Mrs. Morlock. He's barely rational at all.
We've got to get him to sleep. What gets me the most is that he's the one that's sleeping. And I'll never get any sleep.
We'll fix that.
I'm ready to fire you first thing in the morning, Georgia.
Are you awake too, Mom?
Yes, and I see you're still up.
I just couldn't sleep. I kept thinking of poor little old Luigi and Joe. He was all Joe had. Now he's all alone.
Except for you, dear.
Yeah, but Dad will never give us permission. I don't believe there's another man like him in the whole world.
Sorry, dear.
Well, I think he'll be quiet for a while now.
I hope so. I've never seen anything like it.
I have once. My grandpa Rodney. He was a bit of a scoundrel, filled with spit and vinegar. But when he kicked off, man alive, I never saw such celebrating. There were only 5 people at his funeral. The rest were out having the time of their lives. Well, guess I'll go back to bed. Whistle if I needed.
I've never heard such going-ons in my entire life. You can't sleep either, Walter? Sleep? On an egg like this?
Oh, and Mildred, you might look in to see if Mr. Morlock's asleep before you head back up. Yes, ma'am. All right, Mary. Better try to get some rest.
Now he's awake. And he's even worse awake than asleep. And terrible pains. I never had such pains. And I can't sleep. I've tried everything. I've counted sheep like mad. Black sheep, white sheep, purple sheep, orange sheep. I'm going crazy counting sheep.
Mom, if Dad had a breakdown, he'd snap out of it, right?
I'm sick in bed.
He'll never break down, dear. The closest he'll ever come to a breakdown is the nervous kind, and he'd still say no.
You bet I would. I'll have no daughter of mine marrying without my permission.
Married? Yes? I think that. Why don't you and Joe just go ahead? Do you mean that? I certainly do.
What? Why? That's mutiny, and there'll be no revolt in my house. No siree. There'll be no weddings and no elopements unless I say so.
We'll make plans tomorrow.
I'm the big wheel around here.
Just because your head is shaped like a windmill, you think you're a bigger wheel.
You stay out. This is no concern of yours.
It's a concern of mine.
Come on, Mary. Let's go. We'll start planning next week. And we may even have the wedding soon.
You won't get a cent. Not an easy penny. I've been a good husband and an ideal father. Hazel! Derek! Mark right down here immediately! I'm out of this household! Oh, I'm really sick. If she gets married, it'll be over my dead body.
Which I think is just a little deep.
Pipe down.
In fact, you're dead now, and you don't even know it.
The blazes I am. I may be having terrible pain, but I ain't dead yet.
They didn't hear you. Mary and Mrs. Morlock didn't even see you. You're like an iron. You've got to kick the bucket.
You're kidding, right? Pulling my leg. Everyone's always pulling my leg. Here, pull my leg. No pulse. No heartbeat. Holy smokes! I'm dead! I'm dead! Hazel! Mary!
Well, do no good to call for Hazel and Mary. They cannot see you. Nobody can see you.
No. How could that be possible?
You Morlock?
That proves I'm not dead. He spoke to me. He spoke to me.
Morlock, you are dead. As dead as a dead possum.
No, I'm resting.
You're a resting possum playing dead. That actually died. I know a dead possum when I see one. And you're a dead possum.
Who are you?
I'm Lucifer, you see. I'm from down there. My job is to round up all the lost souls.
Lost soul, you can't eat me. I'm the lost soul.
Morlock, your soul is so far gone, we had to use a radar to find it.
This can't. I'm dreaming. That's it. I'm having a dream, but not yet. You're just part of my dream.
Always something
There's no
to
show
do.
I'm not dead.
Never a peaceful moment.
Speak to me, Mildred.
Even got to ski if the old buzzard's asleep.
Buzzard! Mildred, you're fired!
Mr. Morlock? Sir? Mr. Morlock?
She's found you, buddy.
This is preposterous! What's happened?
It's Mr. Morlock. Mr. Morlock's dead. He's dead.
Hazel, there's been a mistake. Well, I couldn't be dead. How could I be dead?
For one thing, too many sleeping pills. You were in such bad shape you couldn't take it.
No, this can't be. I won't be a party to it. I refuse to be dead.
I'll call the funeral home.
The funeral home? What are you doing now?
I'm measuring you for your horns.
We will now have a 10-minute intermission.
What a sad state of affairs. A fine turn of events. It's ridiculous, that's what it is.
Oh, one thing about it. John and Mary can get married now and live happily ever after.
I'll think of something. I may be dead, but I'll get the last laugh. I'm not going down there until I see that things are fixed up the way I want them. You'll see.
And that's why I'm stay here too. I'm not gonna budge until I know my Joe is happy.
And I'm not going down there until they realize once and for all who's boss. I got horses dead and they have alive. It's ridiculous, that's what it is. Me, Fillmore, dead. I'm so mad I could spit fire.
Expected, huh?
I suppose you could do better. I suppose up there they spit orange juice. Oh, this burns me up.
If it doesn't smell, it soon will.
I fail to see anything humorous in that. I think it's all very revolting. And for your information, Mr. Lucifer, I do not intend to go down there to that place.
Well, bless his little overworked heart.
It's all low down. I'm gonna have the trick. If they'd have warned me, I wouldn't have died.
We'll leave as soon as our other party arrives. Someone's supposed to meet us here.
If you think my home is gonna be a clearing ground for people on the way down there, then you're crazy. Stop in the head. And anyway, I'm not going.
You're not?
I'm not dressed for it.
Not dressed for it?
No, I was under the impression that down there, were potatoes. So I'm not going.
Just as you say, Your Majesty. But just to be on the safe side, I suggest you grab a bottle or something and some marshmallows while you're at it. I just love toasted marshmallows.
Crying out loud.
Here it is, done in the obituaries. Luigi Peltford, last night at 9 o'clock. Beloved husband of late Martha Lanconi. And his late son, Angelo Lanconi. Only survived by his son, Joe. Oh, poor little Joe. He's all alone at the face of the world. He's all alone, except for Mary. You're still a pighead about it.
Anything here about me? Nothing in obituaries. Surely they didn't leave me out. I'll sue the paper. I'll run them into the ground. They can't do that to me.
Look on the front page.
Headlines. Now this is more like it. Get a load of that, will ya?
Good stuff. You should have seen it when Jack the Ripper croaked.
Listen to this. Philip Ulysses Morlock, commonly known to all his friends as old PU. How do you like that? Commonly known to all his friends.
I'll two of them.
He died last night at his home. Death was attributed to natural causes. Natural causes? How was murder? Murder in cold blood. I'll hire the best detective in the world. People will fry for this.
When you say that, Morlock, bow down.
A full column about me. Page 1. Headlines. That's Philip Morlock, tycoon. One measly paragraph in the obituaries. That's Luigi Lanconi, baker. Everything about Zion and nobody caring, Luigi? That ever enter your mind?
My Joe cared a lot. He thought a lot of his papa.
And who's Joe? Oh, he's the one that wants to marry Philip Morlock's daughter. Well, he'll never do it.
Well, there's nothing to keep him from it now. And I'm here to see that you don't.
And I'm here to see that I do.
This the place? I'm Miss Schmaltz. I'm supposed to meet you here.
Our other party. How do you do, Mr. Small? I'm Lucifer. And this is Mr. Morlock. He's going to accompany us on our trip.
Another man. How lovely.
Say hello to Mrs. Schmaltz, Mr. Morlock.
Hello.
You should feel proud of your name to go down with Mr. Morlock. He's a very great man. Very important, too, just as Kim.
Really? Is that true, Mr. Morlock?
Certainly. I see no reason denying it.
My goodness. I'm not going to go down with men like you. See, I have a great fondness for men. I had 14 husbands, and they all died. Nobody knows this, but shh, I poisoned 13 of them. Isn't that a good one? And people think I only poisoned 8, so I'm pretty important myself.
Fine pair of escorts you have, Mr. Morlock, and the birds of a feather flock together.
I'll appeal my case. I won't go down with either of you. It's ridiculous, that's what it is.
Come on, Mrs. Small. Let's go stroll among the mortals.
I'm just dying to Lucifer. I need to do some you see. I've tried to cool in the past 3 years.
We'll be back later, Brother Morlock, and I'll teach you neophytes some of the disciplines required for the lower regions. See you soon, Morlock!
Still do, Mr. Morlock. I'm not calling Butch.
I never heard of anything like this before. I'm a fine kettle of fish. One more thing of it, the man I'll get. Mildred.
Mildred, have you seen Mom?
I'll tell you she was in there. In the study.
See if she's in there now, would you?
Oh no, I am never going into that horrible room of death. Ever again.
Heavens, I didn't know he had so much stuff. How are you doing, Mom?
Better, dear.
I'm just cleaning up the place just in case
Have you seen Joe yet?
one decides to drop by.
He was supposed to stop over. Bill. Maybe that's him now. Never Mildred.
Hello, died.
Thank you. Thank you. How do you do? I'm Miss Black, your friendly undertaker.
I'm Mrs. Miller.
How do you do?
Oh, my daughter, Mary.
I'm here about your husband, Mrs. Murdoch. Seems he passed unexpectedly.
Past unexpectedly, I was murdered. Murdered in cold blood.
Yes, last night.
Yes, well, to get down to business, we have special rates for our funerals.
Special rates. Hazel, I'm not going to be very bad idiot. I meant to get rid of her at once.
I'd like to acquaint you on our special layaway plan here.
Layaway plan. Get rid of her at once.
Or if you prefer, you can use a pay-as-you-go plan if you get what I mean.
That would be cut dead in her establishment. Tell her to leave.
Well, I don't know.
Don't be hasty. This is very important to know. In fact, I'd like to say that this is the most important times in one's life when one should live one's very best. Now, what do you want him buried in, Mrs. Morlock?
In a hurry, that's what. The sooner the better.
I mean, of course, this attire.
Have you found a purple trunk and an orange t-shirt? I think it would look quite charming in that.
Ah, and the casket.
The casket, you know that, Hazel? Don't let her stuff me in a cheese crate.
I'm afraid I don't know too much about
Oh,
caskets.
don't worry, we can set you up with about anything, and I presume money is no object?
Money? No object. Hazel, I'd rather decompose in the front yard than be buried by the likes of her.
Hi. Hello, Jessica.
Who's that?
The Undertaker, dear.
Yeah? You're just the person I wanted to see. Right now I'm working on epitaphs, see? In the memory of my father.
Jessica, my little daughter.
Listen to this. To the memory of Philip Ulysses Morlock.
That's touching.
To the memory of Philip U. Morlock. Daddy's left this cold, cruel world for the land of milk and honey. He took from us his love and care, but he couldn't take his money.
Jessica.
Or, Daddy dear has left us here to climb those golden stairs. Born a Morlock, died a Morlock. No runs, no hits, no errors.
Jessica, go to your room immediately.
Yes, Mother. Or,
Jessica?
Daddy's packed his suitcase for a better land, I suppose. But if he gets his directions mixed, he'll need his summer clothes.
Yes, well, this doesn't appear to be a good sign.
Well, apparently not, but the sooner we plant him in the ground, lay our loved ones to rest, the better.
I know a fellow who was in debt all his life, and when he died, he was still in a hole.
Jessica.
I'm going!
My dad's attorney, Mrs. Clear, will handle all the financial matters of his life.
Yes, just thought I'd come over and see how you wanted him laid to rest.
Standing up would be ideal.
Goodbye, Mrs. Morlock.
God.
That scoundrel. That wolf. I won't be buried by the likes of her, I won't. Rest in peace, they say. How about her to rest in peace? If she buries me, it'll be the last thing she ever does. I won't stand for it. I'll hunt her from here to kingdom come. If it was in yours, that'd be my revolution.
Don't you mean a resolution?
I mean revolution. I'll be turning over in my grave.
You should get some rest. I think I will. The clothes suit look nice. Really good, nice and gray.
Why bury me in any clothes at all? Just throw me in a cheese crate on my birthday suit. It wouldn't be the first raw deal I've had. You wouldn't see what they thought of me.
It's your own fault.
Or why don't they bury me in cement? That'd be one concrete thing they've done for me.
If you hadn't been such a self-assertive, stubborn, older man, things would have been different.
You're crazy.
No, I'm gonna tell the truth, though. I try to help you. I tried to help you when you were alive, but it wasn't no use. You had a hard head, and you didn't listen to no one, but a Philip Morlock doesn't have any sense. I wish somebody could have pounded some sense into your noodle.
It's just who's gonna do the pounding.
Oh, I should have done it with a crusty loaf of bread.
You'll never see the day you can pound anything into me. You don't pack the gear.
Oh, I packed the gear when I was alive, and I will still pack the gear.
You haven't changed a bit, Luigi Lanconi. Still hard-headed as ever.
Oh, I'm not hard-headed. I'm gonna just knock some sense into it. Arthur? You look so young.
Luigi. No one grows old in heaven, Luigi.
Oh, I knew you wasn't gonna come.
You took forever and thought you'd never come.
I had to take care of Joe. Mama, he was just a little boy. Now he's a man, and he's in love with a wonderful girl. And that's her papa there. This is Martha, my wife, and she's come down from heaven to take me back with her.
It's nice to meet you.
Oh, no. He won't want to shake hands with you. We ain't good enough for him. And our Joe ain't good enough for he's a man either. But, oh, don't worry. She ain't nothing like him. She's a sweet, and a kind, and a pretty. Oh, that's a her now.
She's beautiful. Lovely. She must be a fine boy to have a girl like her.
Oh, I'd try to raise him up like you would, Mama. Oh, that's him now.
Hold me, Luigi. I think I might faint.
You decided for sure about the funeral, Joe?
I guess. I hope somebody comes.
He'll be there, Joe. He had lots of friends.
They've just got to come, Mary. For his sake, they've just got to.
Just like us, Luigi.
Oh, just like us.
He looks just like you did when you were a young boy.
No wonder I never liked his looks.
He carries himself strong and proud, like you.
That's because he wouldn't let me marry him.
Looks worried, though. Poor boy.
Hey, maybe we should go look through Dad's things and see if there's anything more.
See that? They can't even wait till the body's cold. They want to get rid of anything that ever belonged to me. They'll probably give away my plot in the cemetery before I'm ever crammed in.
And for sure take his golf club.
Take everything I have. Help yourself. You'll get it soon enough anyway.
She'll make him a beautiful wife.
Just like you.
They'll strip it like a bunch of locusts. Probably won't even leave the walls.
Morlock!
Morlock!
Oh
Nice to that.
no. Get prepared, Morlock. We're going out one of these days.
You ladies, but I'm not going.
Oh, is that so? Attention! Hey, you, Morlock, you don't hear too well in your old age. I said attention! That means you, get up!
Crying out loud.
Right now, you're gonna start learning how to take orders. Attention! Morlock, touch your toes. Gotta get you in condition. This is the worst I've ever seen. I know they weren't particular, but this takes the cake.
What's happening, Luigi?
Oh, Mr. Morlock's going down here. He didn't make the grade. His paper didn't have a thing but red marks on it.
We don't talk about you, no. We don't talk.
Hello? Yeah, this moves quick. Long distance. To where? Yeah, that's it. Hello? Yep. We're leaving just as soon as the funeral is over.
No, it can't be. I don't want to go. Not my home, my family, my lovely wife, my daughters. No.
Fall in, Morlock.
Hazel, save me! Dignitaries from all over the state were at the funeral of Philip B. Morlock this afternoon. Pallbearers included Arnold Brubaker and Brubaker, Fred Long and Long. Miller, Upstein, J. Cransford of Cransford and Cransford. T. Marlowe, Marlowe, and W. Egbert Jones. How do you like that?
I'm persuaded. Laid to rest by all my older friends. And you don't even know one of yours.
Luigi, don't argue with Mr. Morlock.
All right, Martha. I'll not argue no more. After all, I got too much to be thankful for. I'm not like old Marblehead here.
And just what do you mean by quack like that?
Well, I've got the Martha. And I ain't got a thing to worry about. Just a plain old Luigi, I am. And you're a bit more like vice president. And you ain't got a thing. Just a one-way ticket to you nowhere.
Luigi, be kind to Mr. Morlock.
All right, Martha.
Yeah, Luigi. Be kind to Mr. Morlock.
Why should I be kind to you? Little big stinky. And here comes poor Mrs. Morlock.
Poor my foot. I left her plenty of money. She doesn't care if I'm gone. She wouldn't care if I was 12 feet under. They could have crammed me on my head and she's still wouldn't have cared.
Well, you could have cared for her just a little too, and treated her like a wife should have been treated.
I gave her everything she could have wanted. She was the luckiest woman in the world.
We never had any money, but we were plenty happy.
Well, we were different. And don't be starting to. I'm not in the mood. Listen to that. She's humming. Her husband on the ground 2 days, and she's humming.
Well, I couldn't blame her. If I wasn't her, I'd burst into song.
It's just that I was always busy. And don't ever try to understand me. I needed sympathy and love.
Ha! You needed sympathy and love like you needed a hole in your head.
Poor Mr. Morlock.
Now, don't feel sorry for him, Mama. After all, it's his own fault.
Nobody shed a tear. Not one. A tramp on the street couldn't die a more forlorn death.
All right, I'm coming. Everything's been peaceful around here ever since Mr. Morlock died, except for that doorbell.
See there? She feels the same way.
Oh, Dr. Brown.
Dr. Brown?
Mrs. Morlock, Dr. Brown's here to see you. Mrs. Morlock. Oh, I better not shout so loud I might raise the dead. Should I drop dead on the spot? Should I commit such a blunder? Mrs. Morlock, Dr. Brown's here to see you.
Some doctor you are. What a pitiful pill cutter you turned out to be. You left those sleeping pills lying around and they fed them to me like candy.
Well, maybe we should go take a last look around.
It's a good idea. We'll be back before we leave, huh?
Hello, Dr. Brown.
Miss Morlock, you're looking well.
Well, she's feeling fine too. Very chipper.
Thank you. Won't you be seated?
Yes, pull the long slab and sit down.
Well, I don't have too much time. Just thought I'd run over for a minute, Hazel.
May I call you Hazel?
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, please do.
You can call me LB. Stands for Lester Buford.
Really? How nice.
But what it really stands for is Lover Boy.
Lover boy, why, you scoundrel, you wolf in doctor's clothing. Hazel, he's holding your hand.
Don't get me wrong, I'm just checking your point.
Checking it? In fact, you're twisting your hand off. Oh, don't let a little thing like me stand in your way. Just because your poor dead husband isn't even cold yet. That has nothing to do with it.
Check both pulses to see if they're the same.
This has gone far enough. Doctor, I demand you leave at once. Vamoose. I'm straight.
Tell me something, Doctor. Why have you never married?
Hazel, stop putting ideas into his head.
Well, I never found someone who liked the same thing that I did. Evenings at home and outings in the country.
That sounds lovely. I always wanted something like that, but Philip never did.
I did, Hazel, honest, I did. I would have taken you to the country and sat with you before the fireplace. I was just too stubborn, I guess.
Tell me, Hazel, would you like to take a fall trip with me?
I would love to, Doctor.
Don't listen to him, Hazel.
Like that since I was first married.
Don't listen to him, Hazel. He just wants all of my possessions, including you.
Then an autumn trip it will be.
I will.
Normal.
I would have taken you to see that on the if I hadn't so much to do. I was overworked, slave.
Well, you better drop by the office at least once a week, just to be safe.
Once a week? Aren't you even thinking of me at all? Me, your dead husband who loves you dearly?
Stop by the office anytime, Hazel. I've got to be going now.
I'm off to the gym.
Stand and fight with a man dog. You love just for you, Hazel.
You know we've got a boxing club down there. I'm champion.
But I could whip him in checkers. Why was I so stupid? I treated her so poorly. People like me shouldn't be allowed to live so long.
Harry, Mother, Joe and I have decided to get married. Really? Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, I'm so happy. Welcome into the fold now.
Thanks, Mrs. Morlock.
I wanted Dad to give me away at the wedding. Only he wouldn't have. He would have sold me for maybe $100, but he would never have given me away.
You're wrong, Mary. I loved you too. And I knew all the time Joe was a fine fellow, only I never did it. If I were alive now, everything would be different. I'd make it up to all of you. Hi, including little Jessica. I'd eat house with you, we'd wrestle, and even play football.
Well, guess we can all have fun and do as we please now Dad's put away.
Jessica, that is a terrible thing to say.
I know it is, but it's the truth, and you're all thinking the same thing. I'm just stupid enough to say it and get in trouble for it. But he never was a dad to me. He was just a machine, set for making money. I never knew my dad.
None of you ever really knew your father. He didn't die this week. He died years ago. He used to be wonderful. The most wonderful man that ever lived. Sometimes I wonder if it wasn't all my fault.
It wasn't Hazel, it was mine. All mine. I should have been lynched years ago. If I could only make it up, I'd be the best husband and father in the world.
Well, we got Mr. Paper straightened out with something wrong.
I'm Georgia.
I don't know if I can say to you in a way of sympathy, but I do know that you'll be financially stable for the rest of your life, and not everyone is that lucky.
No, Georgia, you're right. Not everyone is that lucky.
Well, I guess me and Miss Akers are gonna head out and find lives for ourselves.
That's wonderful. I wish you both the best. Goodbye. Well, I think I'm gonna go head up to bed now.
I'll go up with you.
Guess I better get home too. I've got a lot to do.
Let's make it next week, Joe.
I'm all for it, Mary.
She's beautiful, isn't she?
Well, just like you. Only not quite as much. Oh, we're gonna get hitched now.
Joe, I have someone who would like to speak with you. My friend, Mrs. Sprague.
Come on, Jesus.
Hi, Joe. It's probably you don't know me, but I knew your pa. He was a good man, yes. My husband was a good man too. Was the finest man I ever knew. That is acceptable. Once I was married to until he died. Your pa was a great man. I'll send Jake some his dogs.
Thank you, Mrs. Frigg. I'm sure Dad would appreciate that.
She's good woman, Mama.
That's one of the nicest things I've ever heard.
That's a Luigi very much.
Luigi's finally down on me. I was coming out of his sympathies. No one cares who gives a hoot. Well, before I go, Luigi, I'd like to shake your hand.
Thank you, Mr. Murdoch. You know, deep it down underneath, you're a good fellow.
Well, Luigi, I think it's time for us to get going.
All right, Mama. Goodbye, Mr. Murdoch.
Goodbye, Luigi and Martha. It was nice meeting you, Luigi, even though it took me long enough to realize it. Goodbye.
Well, Morlock, it's time to go. Your time is up.
Mr. Lucifer?
Yes?
Mr. Lucifer, I'm not going.
You're not going?
I'm not going.
He's not going, he says.
Get a load of
that.
Or maybe you're not hearing me, Max. Would you repeat that last statement? A butch.
I just suddenly decided that I'm not going, and that's all there is to it.
Mr. Schmaltz, this calls for deep concentration. This gentleman over here, one fellow Ulysses Morlock, has assigned to 1705 Redstone Street, you know where, and he thinks he can choose not to go. These perplexing problems. Now, Mr. Schmaltz, here I stand with a pitchfork in my hand, and there he sits as helpless as a picked jaybird. Now the question is, should I jump with just one prong or with all of them?
Anything at all.
At your service, madam.
Here, go ahead, pour it on. I couldn't suffer anymore anyway. I'm hurt through and through. I've hurt my poor wife and my poor children, too. Well, what are you waiting for?
No, this I cannot do. Never before have I seen anything like that. Mr. Morlock, I'm going to contact headquarters and see if there's a policy that covers him.
Let me jab him.
We're coming right back, and you're coming with us. What a mess this turned out to be.
This is terrible. Terrible. I've ruined everything. I've hurt my poor wife and my poor children. If I only had another chance to make it up, I'd be the best husband and father and boss, the best everything. If I only had another chance, just another chance to be more fine for who I really am.
Mr. Morlock?
I'm not going, just another chance.
Mr. Morlock, wake up.
What?
Wake up! You're talking in your sleep. You're incoherent.
No, did I dead too?
I sure feel like it. If it ain't one, it's the other.
You can't be talking to me, I'm dead.
Wait, yeah, you're what?
I'm dead.
If you're dead, then I'm Lady Godiva.
I died days ago, they even buried me.
What? You're crazy. As a loon.
What's wrong now, Mildred?
It's your pa. He thinks he's dead.
Dad, did you spend the night on the sofa? Did he spend the night on the sofa? You see, Mary, you can't be talking to me. I'm dead. This was Luigi, poor chap. He already left with Martha, and in a minute they're gonna come back to get me, but I want to go. Dad, what in the world are you talking about? What do you think? I'm dead, and that's all there is to it.
When I woke him up, he was mumbling about how he was dead, and apparently Joe's pa was dead too. And he was bawling like a baby.
You were dreaming, Dad. You had a nightmare, that's what. You fell asleep on the sofa and spent the whole night there. Dreaming? You mean that was all a dream? So I'm not dead, and Luigi isn't dead either? Of course not. Didn't he and I have a scuffle, and he went to the hospital and died? You had a scuffle, but he certainly didn't die. Dreaming! Oh boy! Oh boy! Mary, my daughter! My wonderful, wonderful daughter! What's come over you? I don't care, just as long as it isn't rigor mortis. Hey, where's your mother? She's getting ready to leave. Leave? Don't you remember? She told you yesterday that she was going to leave this morning with Jessica and Mildred. No, it can't be. Hazel! Hazel! I'm leaving with Jessica, Philip.
I'm coming. I got all my earthly possessions. I'm ready.
No, Hazel, you can't go. I love you, Hazel. I'm mad for you. After all I went through, well, after what I really went through, I'm not going to lose you now. Please stay, Hazel. I can't live without you.
Philip, are you serious?
I'm dead serious. And Mary?
Yes?
Why don't you and Joe get married just as soon as possible? Dad? I need it. And Jessica? I'll build you a treehouse.
Are you sure you haven't fallen out of one?
What I'm sure is that I've been an idiot. I need it, Hazel. If you all want to forgive me, I'll be the best husband and father in the world.
Mother.
They come back to get me. Hi, Hazel.
Philip, what in the world?
I'm sorry. I keep forgetting it was a dream.
Excuse me. I might come back to talk for Joe.
Luigi, my best friend Luigi.
Well, blow me down.
And Joe's son. That was my boy. I was just saying to Mary a while ago that I think there should be a wedding around here mighty soon. A big wedding. The biggest blowout this time I've ever seen.
Holy smokes.
This is wonderful.
And what about me, Mr. Morlock? Do I get to stay?
I can't can't do it without the best man in town, can I? I'll even get a raise. Why do you ask?
Well, since me and all the other women folks were leaving, we put an ad in the paper for a maid and a gardener.
You'll stay. Everyone will stay. I'm the luckiest man in the world, and I want you all to know it. And Luigi, you don't know, but you've done more to help me than anyone in the world. I don't know what I can ever do to repay you.
You've done it. And you told my job what you just did. My prayers were answered.
Your prayers? Then that's it. That's it. Your mother was a wonderful person, wasn't she, Luigi?
The best in the world.
Door, Mildred!
I was getting suspicion. She had a hand in this.
Is that an ad in the paper that said you needed a maid? My husband here came along too, figuring you could use a good hot hand.
We're gonna start building that treehouse right away, Jessica. And then...
Mr. Morlock, 2 people answering the ad in the paper have come. What should I do?
I'll handle it. Oh, no you don't.
When I found out you didn't have a gardener in the newspaper, I signed on.
He's got years of expertise with experience with a couple of special areas.
Yeah, sowing
And reaping.